What is up? We need to talk about Blood Message. Death Stranding 2 is making waves on the beach. And Xbox's latest move to piss off PlayStation. All this and more on this episode of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka I'm a little frazzled. You can tell by my hair. Static electricity. I am joined by, oh my God, my hair, Jesus.
Sean M.F. Ross.
What does the M&F stand for?
Buttocks Akimbo.
Oh.
AKA the Undeportable.
Now you know who we are. This is Press X Start Gamers Digest, a video game news show that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube when we can make it because life is hard.
And every week, recording is also easy.
It could be easier if we didn't have these kids. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell. I said notification, whatever.
And send us some diapers.
Oh dear. If you're listening, we would greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast service you are currently tuned in on. And if you want, you can join our conversations by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. That will take you where you need to go. We appreciate it. All right. With that out the way, let us jump into the gaming news. With number one, NetEase's surprise reveal of new AAA Wuxia. My Chinese is very rusty. It's almost non-existent. Wuxia. Okay, cool. Wuxia game Blood Message has fans comparing it to Uncharted and Tomb Raider. This comes to us from IGN by way of Vicky Blake. On top of that, I'm actually gonna play the trailer. Actually, let me put some loot and not be a complete noob at this. There we go. So yeah, this literally took everybody by surprise. The IGN trailer of this is sitting at 2.3 million views. This clearly made
almost
waves.
2.4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Give it an hour, it'll be 2.4.
Right. Exactly. Especially with all you people watching this, you're gonna jump into the actual IGN thing. Anyways, this looks really, really cool. There's the whole thing of, this is an NetEase game, so it's probably going to be free to play and jam with microtransactions, but it doesn't seem like they're going that route with this. It does feel very so Uncharted coded, where it's single player, you're going on adventure, it's very third person, huge set pieces kind of deal, which what you're accustomed to with Uncharted. The combat, though, IGN article points out Tomb Raider. To me, I kind of get an Assassin's Creed feel to it. I think because of the it seems like there's some kind of stealth combat happening here as well. So in my eyes, I think, Assassin's Creed.
I mean, other games had sneaking before Assassin's Creed.
Yes, I know, but Assassin's Creed, that's the Assassin's Creed deal.
Sure.
But yeah, this looks really, really cool. The weird thing, though, not weird, I guess weird because I'm an American, is that this is very, very much so Chinese, as the first thing. It is translated, or the captions is English, but it's all in Chinese. There's no person speaking English at all in this. And I wonder if they're going to carry that forward and just be if you want to play this, then you can just read the subtitles, or if there's going to be English translation or English dubbed later on.
Okay.
But again, this is their first trailer, and they have it as Chinese. So I think that is something to note and to be like, not hesitant of, but like, don't be surprised if it's like, oh, well, actually, because Black Myth didn't that
Are you
start that?
interested in getting it?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I think this is there's no immediate release date to this. They say it's
Mhm.
coming soon to console and PC, so maybe next year. It's one of those things where I think before Black Myth, before what was the other like Chinese game? I guess like
Color Blade?
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So like before those games, it was like, oh, this is obviously vaporware, but it's like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's like okay, but I feel like this is actually going to come out, and I think it
I'm
could do well.
surprised that they're coming out with such high quality looking single player games when we've been told by American devs and American publishers that single player games are dead. Are
Yeah,
they trying to be taken seriously as devs over in the East by coming out with these high budget looking, high profile single player games?
I think you're exactly right with that, like, um, line of questioning, because it is a thing of when you think, you know, Chinese game, when you think
Mhm.
Eastern game, you think mobile first. You think something that is probably free to play, something that has microtransactions, something that is very quick. You don't really think of the AAA like console or PC first game in this way, unless it's like a multiplayer experience.
Well, I mean,
So
I guess since the market is open up and trying to loosen up some of the restrictions and people are getting home consoles
mhm,
legally, not through gray market, they're looking to see some more things cater to that market.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right, and I think like looking at Black Myth's success and the fact that that was a very story forward single player like action
Yeah.
adventure game and how well that did, it definitely seems like they may
And they're
be
finally getting to tell their own stories on their terms.
exactly. That's a big thing too, because like this is very much so Chinese mythology
Hmm.
in some way. I don't know. This is all new to me. But yeah, I think that looks amazing. In terms of the actual article, I'll just pull a couple of uh, paragraphs from this. So, described as a story-driven single-player action adventure set in ancient China, Blood Message will feature cutting-edge technology, yes, to heighten immersion in an epic blockbuster experience. Players can expect a deeply emotional journey with gameplay anchored in cinematic storytelling and visceral, realistic combat that blends stealth and survival mechanics. Survival mechanics. Interesting. Uh, you'll visit diverse landscapes across Eastern and Central Asia. Blood Vestige is an upcoming third person linear action adventure game developed by 24 Entertainment Studios and NetEase Thunderfire. It introduces a foreign or forgotten odyssey of loyalty and survival when players join Dunghung, Dunghung,
Yep.
Dunghung's
Hmm.
uprising,
Yeah, all
taking
that.
control of a nameless messenger and his young son in this immersion third-person action adventure. Okay, that's just kind of just repeating stuff. But yeah, that looks cool. I am definitely this is definitely gonna be on my radar, like going forward. I I hope this doesn't take too long to come out. Like if it hits this year, I think that would be insane.
I
I
doubt
don't
that.
think, yeah, yeah, probably next year.
Yeah.
But the way next year is shaping up, the next year is going to be pretty crazy. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, you got anything else to say on that?
Nah, I'm just curious to see more from it.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Well, speaking of more coming, number two, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is coming out this week. And it's doing very well. It is sitting at an 89 right now on Opencritic. It's like 89/90 on Opencritic. It's a really weird thing where if you look at it on the homepage, it says 90, but then if you click in it, it says 89. That's happened with a couple of games.
That's fine.
But yes,
Anyway,
as Sean did, it doesn't really matter. This game is doing very well, even though Kojima had the whole thing of he wants his games to be divisive, and he felt like it was tracking very well, so he had to change some stuff. But it looks like he
does
should
he
have changed some more
slam his
stuff.
fist on the desk after seeing these Opencritic and Metacritic? Like, God damn
Why is it so good?
it!
I
Trying
hate
his,
myself.
he's trying his best to make a mid-60s, mid-70s game.
Right. He said, I should be more like Mind's Eye. Why am I so good?
Son of a bitch.
But but yeah, so it is doing amazingly well. We are both planning on getting it. So next cast we should probably have some kind of, couple hours in impressions of
Yeah.
our time with the game. But yeah, right now it's just kind of just appreciating how well the game is doing. It is I think that 89-90 area is a
Think it'll drop?
Say what?
Do you think it'll drop?
I don't think it will drop. I think it's gonna stay here, like in that area. Because it's at like 70 something reviews, I believe.
73 on Opencritic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna stay there. Unless there's like an influx of people like, oh, I hate this game. I hate this game because of babies. I don't know. But yeah, I'm I think it's gonna stay there. But that's solid. Like that's like in the top 10 in terms of highly rated games of the year.
Damn.
Where is it?
You have that on your fantasy
Yeah, I
league.
do have that. Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. In terms of Death Stranding, there is more Death Stranding news in that Death Stranding is getting an animated film. And this comes to us from The Verge. By Andrew Webster. This is interesting. I think an animated film would probably be the best way to adapt Death Stranding. I don't think it should be live action. I think that would probably be a mess of a game to figure that stuff out.
You
And
can
get
do
those
more with
effects.
emotions and facial expressions with the animations versus somebody trying to be over the top, unless you're looking for like a 90s Nicolas Cage film or something. I don't know.
You're not wrong. Okay, so the strange world of Death Stranding just keeps on expanding. As Deadline reports, Hideo Kojima ghostly post-apocalyptic video game is getting a spin-off in the form of an animated film. Well, while there aren't a lot of details yet, the animated feature will supposedly be in the same mold as other animated spin-offs, like the recent Predator anthology on Hulu, which could be a good vehicle for Kojima's particular brand of weirdness. That's cool. I've heard that the that Predator show on Hulu is actually really good. So
yeah,
that's great.
I'm curious
Anything
to
else
see
on
how
this?
long it comes to pop this out.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually a good point too, because we often get announcements like, "Oh, this thing is being made into a movie," and it's like, "Oh, okay, yeah,
We
that
were
was
supposed to been had a God of War show by now, or a Horizon show.
Horizon." Yeah,
All those PlayStation, Sony shows are supposed to come out. They were in development for a while now.
yep. That's a very good point. So we'll see if this makes light of day. Hopefully, it's good. Speaking of good, number 3, Xbox Insider. Aggregated gaming library is coming to Xbox PC app. This comes from Xbox Wire. The Xbox Insider part at the beginning was weird. This comes by way of Manisha Oza. Yeah, I think. So this is essentially the second domino from what we saw with the Asus ROG Asus Xbox ROG Ally X
Yep.
slash ROG Ally. Where part of that announcement was like, oh, you can essentially load your Steam games onto this device. The Xbox PC app will allow you to aggregate all of your different storefronts into one one
App,
storefront.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Someplace where you see all your games. This will essentially, right now, well, whenever this release, allow you to launch your PlayStation Steam games on your Xbox console. So they I like the wording of this because they are very picky with their words, and
Mhm.
they don't specifically indicate that like this could be used to do things like that, but it's like, yeah, you can do things like that. So that's cool. um does this change your mind, or like gets you interested in maybe picking up
I'd
this
have to
device?
catch one on the low.
Yeah,
I'd have to.
yeah.
I would have to receive it the same way I got my first PlayStations. For those who've been around long enough know how I got those.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess an update is from last episode to now. The price ranges that we're talking about of the ROG Ally X and the ROG Ally S, I don't know. It was like what 1,000 and like 600. Apparently, those prices now are rumored to be 500 for the ROG Ally, or the Xbox ROG Ally, and then 800
Yeah.
for the Xbox ROG Ally X. So it's not terrible. It is still, from what I remember, to be like the most expensive one of these devices.
Yeah.
$800 is a lot of money. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this is a cool idea, but it'd be the same situation as he was like, oh, I'd have to get this by way of miracle, or by way of like, oh, found this on the ground. That's cool. I'll pick it up. I'll charge it. But like, yeah, I don't think I'll be shelling out the money for this. And I'd also have to get Game Pass, and just like, I don't need to spend money on something else. Yeah. So, but for people like Jordan, I think
Yeah.
this is pretty cool. I
I
don't know.
said these.
I don't even know if he's going to get this. You know what? I need to ask him that question. Is he going to get this? Does
I
he
don't know.
need this?
I don't think he does.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's what Xbox is doing, and I'm pretty sure it's going to piss off PlayStation. So before I jump into, okay, so the next thing is MetaQuest.
Sidebar.
Go
With
ahead.
the God of War TV show, they're restarting it because the showrunners departed. Next story.
Oh, that's
So they're starting from scratch as of 8 months ago.
can't wait to see that in 2030.
Mm.
Yeah. So the thing I just want to tack onto the Xbox news is that Xbox is also releasing the MetaQuest 3S, which is the Xbox version of the
Yep.
MetaQuest. I guess it's gonna be announced soon, and that's from WccfTech. That's cool, I guess. I don't. It's
It's just
it's a thing
interesting that they're
of,
even coming out with it.
yeah. It's like, did you not? I guess they're not really having to spend any extra money doing this because it's just being branded as an Xbox device.
I mean,
But
I
it's
guess
like,
you can play your games on a big screen. We'll see what they do with this. I'm curious what this means.
I feel like this is just going to be part of their Xbox Anywhere branding, because like VR isn't that popping right now. Like it's not
I
dying,
mean,
but it's not
it's it's
thriving.
it's a niche industry unless
Yeah,
you're doing like those group sessions at like stores with your friends. But I mean, it's coming with the Xbox wireless controller, so I think this is more for you to play games on however big of a screen you want with the VR headset.
Yeah. If it's yeah. That makes more sense than what my brain was doing. So yeah, that's Xbox. They like it's. I feel like for me, I am having to do that. Like, oh yeah, Xbox is more third party now than first party. So it's like they're making these devices to basically cast a wider
Okay, so
net.
Xbox Cloud Gaming became available on the MetaQuest in late 2023.
Oh,
So this has been you've been able to play Xbox games in there for a while, I guess.
yeah.
This is just finally an official branded unit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of official branding unit, hey, how you doing? Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That is all. That's actually not all. Continue watching this video because we appreciate that too. Number 4. Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, and more to appear in Capcom Showcase next week. That's actually this week because this is from last week. This comes to us from VGC by way of Jordan Midler. So, we will be presenting the latest news on highly anticipated upcoming Capcom titles, along with developer interviews, the company said. The stream will feature new information on Monster Hunter Wilds, Street Fighter 6, Pragmata, and Resident Evil Requiem, a la 9. The broadcast is planned to be at least approximately 40 minutes long. And this will be happening on Thursday, June 26th, 3 p.m. PDT, which is Pacific date time. Is it? Whatever. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the time that we care about because that is the best time. And I said that. And I mean that. It's the best time. So yeah. And then 11 p.m. for butt stuff time. I don't know what BST means. But yeah, that's the dates. That's the time.
British summertime.
I may have upset an entire swath of the world. Are you excited for this?
Yeah, but it looks like they're trying to steal Death Stranding's thunder. But I mean, I'm interested in playing Resident Evil. I still need to play 8. I never ended up buying it.
Yeah.
Pragmata, I am excited for, but I don't like being spoiled with things, so I don't know how much of it I'm gonna watch.
Well, here's the thing. Well, yeah, I get that. Like, I am Monster Hunter Wild, Street Fighter 6, Pragmata, Resident Evil Requiem. I am hoping that there is some like special thing, some interesting, not interesting, something else that's going to be in this presentation, right? Because Pragmata, that's not coming out until what, next year?
Yeah.
Right? Resident Evil Requiem's not coming out until next year. Street Fighter 6 is a known quantity. Monster Hunter Wilds is a known quality. It's like this is 40 minutes long. So the Monster Hunter Wilds thing, I think it's going to be title update 2, which I guess you can make a big deal out of it, but that feels kind of weird to me. Street Fighter 6, I feel like we saw Street Fighter 6 at Summer Game Fest, so it's like, okay, that was like just like 2 weeks ago. Same with Pragmata and Resident Evil Requiem. So it's like, what are they going to show here that's going to be worth us like sitting and watching it? But I'm going to sit and watch this because this is video games and I like video games. So what I'm going to do.
I don't know, but apparently they're letting journalists play Pragmata with some guided demos, and pretty good so far.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, there'd be no way that they would like surprise drop a demo for any of this because Pragmata or Resident Evil, because they're so far out, whatever.
Yeah, apparently the hacking dynamic in Pragmata you do while you're fighting the enemies or dodging the enemies.
Hmm.
It has a hacking component where you multitask aiming, shooting, and dodging using the controller triggers while simultaneously hacking the enemies using the face buttons.
Please stop. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Hey, if it's not for you, if you suck, just say so. But they're saying that
Oh my
it's
god.
pretty good.
Oh, okay. Well, if it works, then I guess
It says
that's
once initiated, the hack will display a minigame on the right side of the screen, and players must complete a snake-style circuit connecting nodes on a grid from A to B, all while avoiding the approaching bot's attacks in the physical realm.
I would love to see how that actually like flows because that
It
that
says it
that
says it's
gives
a cool idea, which makes for some truly intense combat, with bots often getting within inches of killing distance before the hack is completed, and Hugh, the main character, blows them to pieces with a single shotgun
okay.
blast.
Oh, okay. So you can't do any damage until you hack them. Oof.
We'll see how this goes, but apparently they're saying
Ugh.
it's fun.
Like that reminds me of the YouTube videos where it's like it's
Yeah,
split down
yeah,
the middle.
they're virtually invincible against your weapons until you hack them. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that is a cool concept. I just I don't know. I don't know. It's Capcom, so you know what? I'm just gonna trust them. I'm just gonna trust them.
Give them
They have
grace.
they've
They've been cooking.
they have been cooking. You're totally right about that. All right. Maybe we might see some Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC stuff. No, we're not seeing that. Dragon's Dogma 2 is gone, guys. It's gone. Uh the creator is no longer with that cap. He's no longer at Capcom. So I don't expect them to do anything with that.
He's
Ah,
gonna make
all right.
Agnes
Number.
Dogma.
What you saying? Right. This looks familiar for some reason. All right. Number 5. The next big Switch 2 exclusive Donkey Kong Bonanza is playable on Switch 1 after all. You just need a friend kind enough to share it with you on your dusty old relic for a console of a console. This comes to us from Games Radar Plus by way of Jordan Gerblick. Cool name. So last week there was a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Um, actually, let's talk about the actual Direct itself first before we talk about this. Yeah, like what was your highlights from that Direct?
Um, I only watched up to a certain point because I already know I'm getting that game.
Mhm.
Apparently he has different forms. I didn't see that. I just saw The Rock is actually Pauline. Apparently she's
Yep.
13.
Hmm.
And they don't care about any timeline. They said don't worry about all that, just have fun with it.
Nah,
Fine.
they said pay
Is
us
it
our money to
odd?
play the game and shut up.
Is it odd that I liked the Rock character?
Over Pauline,
It's fine that it's Pauline, but
you just like
I
the
was
Rock character.
I wanted to have my little Rock buddy, but it is what it
Yeah,
is.
I think the Rock character is like a cool and like weird kind of thing for Donkey Kong. It's like,
Hmm.
what does that thing does? Like that's strange. And then it being like Pauline's like, okay, why was she a rock? Like that, I think that creates a lot of questions. Where it's like,
Um,
why didn't you guys just do this from the beginning?
I mean, they
But
wanted
yeah,
to have their little moment. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. It's like okay, that's cool. Nintendo being Nintendo, I get it. But it's just weird to like look back and be like, she was a rock. Like, is that part of her evolutionary chain, like a Pokemon or something?
Mm,
But yeah, other than that, like I thought this direct for Donkey Kong was amazing. Like I wasn't I was interested in the Donkey Kong game, but I wasn't like super excited for it. I thought the concept of destroy everything was like, oh, that's cool. We've seen that in other games a bunch. That's a Minecraft thing.
hey, we haven't seen it
Well,
in a while in this manner.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like the way they showed it off, I think they did a great job of like, oh, this is fun. This is like fun stuff to do with this idea of destroy everything.
Yeah.
They did show three forms of Donkey Kong. Do you want me? You want me to spoil it? Are you okay if I spoil it?
Go ahead.
So, one form is Goku from Dragon Ball Z. The second form is um, a zebra from. Trying to think of an anime. I can't think of an anime with like a zebra. Ultimate Muscle, maybe. I don't know. I don't think there's a zebra.
My hero.
Yeah, there you go. Bam, he
I
got
don't
it.
know. I just threw out a fucking. I don't know.
No, I think like he runs really fast. Like I think one of those characters they do that, and the other one's a bird, big bird. Um, yeah, it's completely like weird things that happen. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like it all
Yeah.
looked a lot of fun. I hope there are more transformations that you can unlock, you get access to while playing the game. They made a point that those transformations, you're not locked to it. You can actually bounce in between those transformations and like
Oh,
do
okay.
traversal combos. So it's like, oh, this is really interesting. Like it seems like, well, we loosely know that the Mario Odyssey team made this game, or like a spin-off group from that team made this game. So that's why traversal is kind of first, and like it has this like aesthetic and this quality to it so far. I I am like this is going to be my switch to like Renaissance game where I actually pick up the console and play it now. So I'm excited for this.
Rough.
But back to the actual article itself. So one of the things that they showed in the direct was that Switch or Donkey Kong Bonanza has a multiplayer feature very similar to Mario Galaxy where you can shoot where you would shoot the stars in Mario
Yep.
Galaxy. But in this, the second player can shoot out rock words from Paulina, and
Yeah.
that does damage. And you can like interact with the environment to like change the material of the rock that you shoot out to do more damage on whatever you hit. So you can basically link the Donkey Kong Bonanza game with another console without them having to buy the console. And it also works with the Switch One. And it seems like the game share feature is just going to stream the game over to the Switch One or whatever back channels they have going on with Nintendo and how that works. That's all cool. I think that is a really clever way of getting more people to play this game without having them to actually buy the game.
Well, I'm guessing they'll hope that you'll have so much fun helping whoever play the game that you don't want to go buy one yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's awesome. I think the game itself looks really awesome. It looks cool. Okay. Number. Jeez, where were we? Number 6. Oh yeah, this one. Sega accidentally makes sales data public for 11 major games.
Damn.
This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of Mike Straw. So this is one of those things where it's just like, is
Uh,
this revealing in any way?
Kinda.
I
I'm
guess in terms of
surprised
like,
that Persona 5 Royale had legs like that.
mm,
Especially after it's just a deluxe version of what already came out. So Persona has some serious fans.
yeah,
I'm not gonna read off all the numbers. Persona 5 when it came out did 1 million for the year, dropped
hmm
down to 700,000 year 21, 350,000 in 2022, and then for some reason skyrocketed up to 1.82 million the next year.
So
What happened?
okay, so the okay, the one thing to note about this is that this is all fiscal year, so it's
Mhm.
from March to April. So it's like March of 2019 to April of 2020 is
Regardless of what the month is.
yeah. I'm just making that clear because we're saying like 2020, 21, 2021. It's like it actually kind of blends
Okay,
together.
fiscal year. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think for
Well, is that when they consider their fiscal year? Because everybody considers their shit differently.
you're right about that. I would just assume so. But yeah, I think to answer your question, I think it might have had because like the last like persona like game was Metaphor. We don't have numbers for Metaphor, by the way. Like
That wasn't made by Sega, right?
it's Atlas.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, published by them.
Yeah. So the Metaphor team is like I think the original Persona team or something, or like the older group from the Persona team. They like broke off
Yeah,
and made Metaphor.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it just kept on selling well up until the present day. Fiscal year 24, 1.6 million. Fiscal year 25, 1.75 million. Sonic Frontiers launched selling 3.2 million. Then
That
they had a sharp drop off 760K, 610K next year.
the
That's a
fact
lot.
that like
People still
I
have faith
I
in Sonic.
I the
The
way I
Sonic
saw that
cycle is
number
real.
shot and I was like 3.2, it sold 3.2
The
million
Sonic
like that
cycle
game.
is real.
That is insane. Like it is, I heard this before, and it's like
Mhm.
there's a reason why Sega makes the
Isn't
moves they
giving up
make.
on Sonic.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, it actually it sells. It
I
just
mean, people
it
always say, "Who the
sells.
hell is still buying Sonic?"
People
That's a goddamn
apparently.
number.
Right.
It's interesting that Team Sonic Racing that came out. The last racing game came out fiscal year 20. 1.38 million, and then the sales just slowly dropped, but
Hmm.
it was enough for them to come out with Cross Worlds. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't really have an explanation for that. Because
Yeah,
like, while that is happening, you do have Mario Kart Deluxe and like or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's
I
that's
mean,
always
some people
crushing.
didn't have a Nintendo system though. I mean, these are available on everything.
That's
Three
true. That's
Kingdoms.
true.
I don't know about that. Yakuza 7
Yeah.
Like a Dragon. That game just sold under a million each year.
Yeah.
2.86 in total, 2.86 million, but that's a niche game. So I mean, I guess that's good numbers.
I mean, it's good enough for them to make another one, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it is a thing of like it like
Um,
I think one of the things that is interesting about this is
yeah.
that you get a sense that they don't look at each of these with the same level of
Lens.
performance. Like, okay, this has to do this has to do this, like all have to do like the same. It's like, no,
They
like
know what each franchise, what their fan base looks like.
yeah,
Infinite
exactly.
Wealth,
Yeah.
that was 8. The Hawaii one, they had the largest launch they said for any Yakuza game that started out at
Hmm.
1.18 mil. Next year, a little under half. I guess it remains to see how much, what that
Yeah.
looks like.
I
Like a
mean,
Dragon
they're
Gaiden.
working on Project Century or
Yeah.
what? Something about
I'm curious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something Heaven. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Stranger than Heaven
Straight. There
is
we
the
go. Yeah,
official title.
yeah.
Like a Dragon Gaiden, the smaller game that came out right before Infinite Wealth, that sold 750K first year and 220 next year.
Yeah, that almost hit a million.
I'm sure it'll
So
hit a million. It's a
you
it's
know
a
what?
smaller, yeah.
So you have for RGG Studios, you have Infinite Wealth, Like a Dragon Gaiden, and then
Like a Dragon, which is 7.
Like a Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, that's like what? That's like 2 million in that year, or right?
Oh, what
That's
for
around 2
fiscal
million
for fiscal year
fiscal.
what
Yeah,
24 or 25?
25.
25 no.
It's 48,
Because
20.
Like a Dragon, which is 7, sold 360,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Infinite Wealth 480, 220. So a little under a million.
Yeah. I mean,
But the
I
year
imagine,
prior, yes, almost 2 million.
yeah, I imagine it is a thing of they've been doing this so long that they're probably smart with their money, and they're not. And like as you say, like their
Well, they're not
development is like
they're not huge budget
iterative.
games because they smartly reuse assets and they
Exactly.
don't expect them to sell ridiculous number. Apparently they say the games just have legs and they sell consistently over time.
Yeah.
So these may be outlier numbers.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think this is interesting just to give us a sense of like, how Sega defines things that are successful versus what we as a general consumer think of what things have to be successful. I
Hmm.
guess mainly because usually the only news we get is usually negative news of, oh, this studio is closing down, oh, this studio is shutting down because whatever, or like Square Enix case, oh, this underperformed, but it sold 5 million copies. What do you mean it underperformed? You're like, oh, we wanted 5.5 million, it underperformed.
Oh, like Square?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So yeah, I think this is all just kind of cool to see. And again, like, Sega's fine. I don't think any of these numbers can be like, oh no, Sega's in trouble. Like I think the opposite. I think Sega's doing really well. Um yeah, so that's it. That's it for the bigger gaming news. Now we have the quick hits. And speaking of things doing well, I guess maybe not. Number 7, new Greek God of War game reportedly delayed to 2026. Um, there was a ton of rumors that about this game, like in the first half of the year. So
Yeah.
much so where I thought we were going to actually see this for Summer Games Fest or the PlayStation um, State of Play. Turns out, no, we won't see it until next year. So yeah, that's fine. That came to us from the Game Post. Number 8, Bungie delays Marathon indefinitely. No new PlayStation 5 PC release date given. This comes to us from Push Square. This is pretty much the nail, not nail in the coffin, but not nail, jeez. Period at the end of the sentence of what is happening with Bungie's Marathon game. Will it come out this year? The answer is no, it will not. They are going to put that game back in the oven, which they need to, and they should have, and this is a good thing for them, and work off of the feedback they received for the alpha, because really and truly, that's sort of the reason why you do alpha, to get the feedback and then work on that feedback. And it turns out the game needed way more work than they thought it did.
Uh,
Uh,
we'll see.
so yeah, so that they're going to be working on that. I mean, there is the possibility of PlayStation just not releasing this game, but I feel like they've spent too much
Too
money
much. Yeah.
on the game to just be like, okay, we're not going to make anything back from this. Plus, there is the whole like them spending 3 point something billion dollars to acquire Bungie in the first place. And it's like they got to make something back from this game.
We'll see how that goes.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then the other marathon thing is that they have essentially started the playtest engine up again. So Bungie, acknowledge me. I would like to be a part of this playtest.
No.
I'm not going to say who got into this playtest, but it certainly wasn't me, Bungie. You know my email address. I'm here.
How hilarious would it be if like one digit was off in your email and they have been sent?
D Harris B. Who he's like, what is this marathon stuff?
Mm.
Oh yeah. yeah, so that's that. Number 9, Mind's Eye Studio, Build a Rocket Boys reportedly started mass layoffs proceedings. It
Hmm.
comes from VGC. The last time we talked about Mind's Eye, I mentioned how we were going to do a preview, or I guess preview impressions of Mind's Eye, but decided not to because I saw about like 2 or 3 previews of that game. And those people were like, this game is not good. And I was like, okay, I'll take that and just ignore that game. And turns out they were right. The game is, I think, the worst rated game of the year for sure. And on Opencritic, I think it's at like a 30 something, like a 36 or something. Um, Let me look this up just because, Yeah,
I was
34. I'm sorry, 34. And it
actively
has
going down.
yes, it has 24 reviews on it. The reason why the reviews are so low is because uh Build a Rocket Boy decided to not release review copies to people to review. So people had to buy their own copies to review the game. Yeah.
Yep, that shows confidence in your product.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Speaking of confidence in your product, number 10. Remember the guy that was on the he was on the Summer Game Fest stage with the Make First Person Shooters Great Again hat?
Hmm.
Well, that was for Splitgate too. And they are holding layoffs. So that game not doing so hot.
Is that
Um
a game you're interested in?
no, no,
Hmm.
no.
Why not?
It has the arcadiness of like Quake mixed with, I guess, a little bit of like Halo in terms of like
Hmm.
its sci-fi-ness. But the main draw to that was that you can go through these portals, and these portals can like connect you to different stages, and you're like jumping through stages while doing this whole multiplayer like arena combat thing. The idea is cool, but to me, it was a thing of, all right, this seems very one note, and like that's kind of all you're doing, and
That's the
that's
whole
the whole.
stick.
Yeah, and it's like I know I'd get bored of that very quickly.
Mm.
But yeah, this sucks. Like, when it comes to layoffs, it is always a thing of, we want the best for the developers. We know the higher ups will more likely be fine because they've built their own parachutes off the back of the, the people that are working for them. So it's like, I don't have to worry about that. But it's usually the developers, the staff who are like having to make these games, but then also get burnt when the game doesn't do well because of whatever chain of command. So we just hope that those people will be okay after this and able to find new positions to, make good games that do well and don't have this happen again. Yeah. Okay. Um, do you got anything in terms of what you've been playing?
I am just karting around in Mario Kart World, trying to
Hmm.
explore more of the free free roam mode.
Okay.
Um, I understand that game developers want you to be fully immersed in the world, but it wouldn't hurt to throw a compass in there.
Mm,
They already have a mini map of sorts when you're free roaming, like an overhead map to show you, I guess, things hidden that are from the top down view. They give you a top down view.
yeah.
I'm not sure how much of it you've played, but
Mm.
it would be
I know.
helpful to add a compass or at least like the north indicator. I
Yeah.
find
I
myself
mean,
constantly opening the full map to see what direction I'm pointing at to navigate to other things. I don't want to like they've touted you being able to drive across the whole world in the game. And it seems like they would rather you open the map and warp to different
yeah.
POIs.
Yeah. It
Eh.
it to me it feels like the Mario Kart developers, they have this system in place that they have been iterating on from
Hmm.
Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, all the way up to Mario Kart 8. And
Yeah.
then they decided to take this step into the unknown territory of an open world game. And they did that, but it's like this is their first attempt at doing that. So we have a lot of these first attempt issues, like you have this open world game, but the mini map is not great. Like you have to open up, I guess non existent. You have to open up your map to see where you're going. And it's just like these are just simple things that should have been solved before the game released. Like your Nintendo, you're all about quality in your games. Like what is happening here? But again, it's thing of like this is their first attempt at this stuff, so we are going to
Eh,
be.
sure.
I mean, it's a thing of like we've seen that before in other.
Yeah, they weren't making this in isolation. Like you're making an open world game. Give us some type of compass rose or something.
Yeah, but I mean, isolation is what Nintendo's about.
I suppose.
There's that too, and it's like it's just annoying. It's like they shouldn't be doing this stuff, but it's just the way that they work. Where it's just like they try not to be influenced by the world out around them. I don't know. It's annoying.
Hmm.
It's just annoying. Like this stuff should have been solved in the QA process, but don't know what happened to those people. But yeah, as for me, my goal is to beat Expedition 33 this week so I
Hurry
can
it up.
start Death Stranding 2 with everybody else and be um with uh, Sam Porter Bridges. I know his name because I watched 4 hours of Death Stranding one.
Y'all let us know if you want a review cast of Expedition 33.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We don't need your input. We need your input in liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hit the notification bell, and also leaving a comment below. But other than that, we'll need your input to decide what we're gonna do a review cast on because we're gonna do a review cast of Expedition 33. It is late,
Okay.
okay? It is kind of past my bedtime.
Mm, okay.
Yes, but yeah, I've lost all words, so you know what that means.
See y'all later.
See, this has been another episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this show as much as we enjoy making it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're currently tuned in on if you are listening to us and not watching us. Don't forget you can. It's got an email from work. Oh no. Don't forget you can join our Discord by going to pressx2start.com/discord. That will take you where you need to be with us. And we're pretty cool. So you can be cool with us being cool. All right. You take care, you be safe, you keep playing them video games. Wash your hands because America's getting crazy and it's getting it's getting
Mm,
crazy.
mm. Peace,
Yeah.
y'all.
See ya.